My feet so fat I can't get into my roller skates. And my neck and chest don't fit anymore. Look at this. It's a stick up. It don't work. I do this at a bank robbery, I look like a fool.
And you definitely do not want to look like a fool trying to rob a bank when your neck chip don't fit no more. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Power Up Podcast. We are back from the holidays, raring to go, taking a gamble. We're using Rumble Studios, to which beforehand, like when it first started, Rumble Studios was working just fine. Then all of a sudden, everything started to turn gay, and like it would drop out. So far we're having a pretty solid connection. I don't know like how many times I can yell at them to get their shit together, but we're here. Right now we're on YouTube, Rumble, and X. I almost want to say there was like a third one. Am I on Kick? Did I even like change? I don't think I'm on Kick. Jeez. Oh, I am. Fudge, and I didn't even change the title. Well, egg on my face, I guess. But welcome to the Power Up Podcast. It is a show that likes to take a dive at pop culture. Just another pup giving his thoughts about pop culture with the hopes of at least rekindling that nostalgic spirit in terms of reminding folks what we love about entertainment, and that is to simply just be entertained for entertainment's sake, nostalgia reasons or another. Because right now, entertainment is dying, and that is because of woke DEI bullshit. And I'm just another guy just trying to reminisce about the good old days and hopefully point out, the insanity that is infesting a field in which we just want to be entertained. So if you enjoy it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Feel free to follow me on my other social medias, either listed in the description of whatever platform you are watching on, or if you're on X, you can always give me a follow and find my link tree in the bio, and then you can follow me over there if you so wish. Just help push the channel via algorithm, all that fun stuff. And of course, if you want to go above and beyond of that, you can always check out like memberships and locals and all that stuff. But humbled and blessed to hang out with you guys today. Let us go ahead and hop into it. Like I said, I found some articles here from different sources and stuff. So I've been, like I said, AFK for a while just because of the holidays. So we're back. And some of the articles that caught my eye are going to be really interesting in reading. It'll be, fresh. I am going off of what, to get your attention in terms of the title, but hopefully not like clickbait or whatever. But, always down for checking out what people are saying. Let's hop into this here. Oh, yeah. I was talking about Nintendo. I saw an article about supposedly, I guess, the Nintendo Switch 2 replica is being showcased behind closed doors somewhere, so we'll read about that. And apparently a Helldivers 2, well, not 2, but Helldivers movie adaptation. Let's hop in. Wabam. Okay, so this comes from Video Game Chronicle. I saw this, and I thought this is hilarious. Physical video game sales collapsed in the UK last year. And apparently, not that per se, but the fact that apparently the digital game revenue also fell slightly in a tough year for the industry. I just thought this was funny just because of the fact that it ties into another article I found, and it's all going to tie in together of the fact that like with game passes and whatnot, theoretically companies are losing out in terms of physical buying stuff, but these companies want you to buy digital stuff, but you don't own the digital stuff. And so it's just like, oh my gosh, if you would have just stuck with the physical element of having a game with a sweet manual, owning the disc and stuff, and then when I don't want it anymore, I can get rid of it, or I can rip it and then sell it and all that stuff. You know, instead of doing this subscription bullshit. Maybe you want to fall into this, but this is just the UK. So video game revenue in the UK dropped 4.4% to 4.6 billion pounds, I'm assuming is what that means. In 2024, it's been revealed. This was driven mainly by collapse in physical game revenue in the region, with just 324.4 million pounds generated by sales of box games in the UK last year. That's a drop of nearly 35% over 2023. Now, I'm not one to dive in deep in terms of conspiracy with numbers per se. I like looking up conspiracy stuff, but I have a feeling why they always start off of oh yeah, the physical game revenue is dropping because people don't want it. Well, it's because you're purposely setting it up to where the best deals that people get, like a day one access and all that stuff, it's all digital. And then people who don't know anything, will just go with that one because it's convenient. Convenient in terms of, oh, I just want to play it now, but maybe later on, if down the road it's become so totalitarian to where they find out you have wrongthink, and then they can just pull your library and say, well, you can't play all that shit anymore. This data is courtesy of the Entertainment Retailers Association and based on data from Nielsen/JFK, India, and GSD. Is it Nielsen, GFK, India? Or is it literally this company and then just India? I don't know why. I just they're getting all this data from, these companies and India. The digital market fared better, marketer, with 4.29 billion pounds generated via console, PC, mobile, and tablet game sales. However, this was still a 1% drop over the year before. Of course, yeah, see, they really want to push that digital aspect. But I'd rather own my games than to buy a temp license and then later on down the road have it. Because that's happening too. Once they delist it from the platform, you can't get it anymore. Unless you get it from GOG that try to preserve the games and you can actually keep the offline installers. Which I wish GOG would be as big as Steam, because I would switch over to GOG in a heartbeat. According to the data, PC download sales were down 5%, console download sales were down 15%, mobile and tablet gaming rose 2.6%, and subscription revenue increased 12%. So this means the video game market will sit behind film and video in the UK for the second consecutive year. Well, first and foremost, it's the UK. I mean, get out of there immediately. We see how insane everything's going that way. The best-selling game in the UK was EA Sports. Of course, it's a sports game. FC 25, because they probably censor the crap out of everything else, just like they do all over, which shipped 2.9 million copies in 2024. ERA reveals that 80% of its sales were via digital store. See, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? And I guarantee you there was probably some deal going on or some sort of incentive. Is really let me know in the comments below. Is really the incentive of going the digital route for you guys? What is it? Is it when you see a sweet deal and your $60 game is 70% off or something, and it's ridiculously cheap? I mean, anybody wants a good deal and wants to pay not full price. I understand that. But what else? For me, I'm a hybrid gamer. I like consoles. I'm liking PC more. I want to get whatever version is, number one, the most uncensored. Number two, if there's any sort of modding or patch that can be applied to the game to give me the most uncensored version possible, that's the route I'm going with. which one could say like PC probably, but but again, I like to physically also own stuff too. Like other than like the sales that always happen, like what else is there? Like do people honestly give a crap about, playing day one release anymore? Cuz I don't. So after the breakneck growth of recent years, it is no surprise that the games market has slowed down quiet phone. But it remains a giant, says ERA boss Kim Bailey. Despite the attractions of digital business models to developers, we believe physical still has a role to play. I think it has a major role to play. You guys wouldn't even, like, digital wouldn't even exist without physical. Like, let's remember that. At some point, someone realized they could put all that data that was on a disk just, on an SSD or whatever, or on servers and all that crap. But it all came from physical elements in the end. The games market is expected to improve in 2025 with a series of big game releases headlined by Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah, after don't they keep delaying that game, and the successor of the Nintendo Switch, which we will get to. I mean, despite Nintendo pretty much having like the gaming companies by the balls in terms of handheld, like I hate each company. Everybody censors, like for a while Nintendo was like the least, like they didn't censor as much, but it was still there, but I heard it changed, and then like what, did it change back again or something? Sony has just gone down the shitter, and Microsoft, like, who gives a shit? Nintendo has yet to officially reveal its Switch successor, but the company has confirmed plans to do so during its current fiscal year, which ends in March 2025. That's the month of my birthday. Oh boy, we can look into that. It's going to be fun and exciting. So the reason why I kind of chuckled when I saw this, not in terms of like the physical video game sales collapsing, because that's sad, but was the tie-in of this. This comes from Tech for Gamers. So Game Pass hurts Xbox game sales by a whopping 80%, says an analyst. Says analyst. That's insane. And that's where I ultimately got the chuckle. Because it's like, well, reap what you guys sow. You guys want everything to go digital. You guys want everything to go subscription based. And now your game sales are hurting. But these companies don't want you to own stuff. What was it, California or something? Now has that clause that actually, like, companies have to state you don't actually own the game. And then I'm supposed to feel sorry for you when your game sales hurt. I'm supposed to weep bitter tears in the depths of night because people are, sailing the seven seas because, fuck you guys. If buying digital means I don't own it, then sailing the seven seas means I'm not stealing it. So Xbox Game Pass has proven to be quite beneficial for Microsoft, providing a new strategy for the gaming giant's survival in this industry. However, it also comes with various problems of its own. According to a renowned analyst, the service can notably impact sales. In fact, titles that launch day one on the service suffer about 80% sales loss on the Xbox platform. And Tech for Games says, why? Why does it matter? Well, Microsoft has put all its eggs in one basket, so the gaming giant has no option but to commit to the service and day one content delivery. Or you could just say no. Like, is there an actual contract that says this game has to be like day one, stamped of approval or something like that? Remember back in the day when you could just get a sweet physical like Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo game, and then you one owned the game, and two, that was it. It was complete, regardless of whether how rushed it was, how many bugs were or whatnot. You just that was it. That was the game. That's why I tip my hat to ROM hackers and translation groups and stuff like that, because they'll fix that sort of stuff because people want it. But the gaming company, no, they got to make sure that their games are diverse, inclusive, equity, or whatever the die of the world. Even though they're just slitting their own wrist. The dollar say, take a shave. Responding to a recent question about the service, Chris Dring, that's a name that just popped up out of nowhere, noted that day one Game Pass titles lose up to 80% of their potential sales on Xbox. Sorry if I sound a little hoarse, by the way. I am fighting allergies like crazy. He pointed to examples like Hellblade 2, Indiana Jones. Well, I mean, Indiana Jones. There was a lot of speculation that it was going to be woke, especially with that retarded warning that it has Nazism in it. Oh no, even though everybody knows Indiana Jones is all about defeating them Nazis. We just got to make sure that when you see it, you don't think of us as Nazis. It's dude, anybody with a common sense will realize that you're just making a game and Nazi symbolism is inside it, because we all know Indiana Jones. Anybody who's oh, if a studio has Nazism in there, oh, then they must support it in some way, is a fucking idiot. And should jump rope with a noose in Minecraft. And Starfield. Well, that was another one. Which quickly, I think, didn't Hellblade 2 had... I'm just going to assume they all have some sort of DEI bullshit. Which quickly dropped off the best-selling charts after their release. Hellblade 2, in particular, ended up disappointing across all platforms. Hellblade 2, in particular, ended up disappointing across all platforms. Does that sound grammatically correct to you? I'm not the best person in terms of grammar. This is why I kind of love reading these articles, because I just find misspelling errors in sentences that don't make any sense. But like I said, I'm no expert by any means. Shouldn't it say Hellblade 2 in particular ended up being a disappointment across all platforms? That sounds better. Again, this Chris Dring guy, who I have no idea who this person is, noted that Xbox Game Pass could benefit multiple platform releases, which most of Microsoft's first-party titles will be moving forward. However, he continued to emphasize that there is definitely money loss when AAA releases are made available through the service. He says, I believe it can lead to lost revenue. Games can expect to lose around 80% of premium sales on Xbox. So the analyst also believes that Xbox Game Pass may not be all too big in the future. He pointed to the popularity of free-to-play releases as one reason why this may be the case. I mean, I know there's some good free-to-play games out there. I'm going through my old school backlog list, and I don't have time to play free-to-play sort of stuff. Or should I say free-to-play games that require me to test the waters a little bit, to then decide if I want to put more time and effort into it. Again, I'm sure there's some games out there. It's just, I mean, I feel like free-to-play games always has that, what would be the word? Stigma of, if it's free-to-play, it's probably not good, sort of thing, or it's very clunky or whatever. But hey, I mean, we all saw what happened to Star Wars Outlaw. The analyst also believes... Oh, I read that. So, fortunately for Xbox Game Pass, all hope has not been lost yet. A recent launch like Black Ops 6 has been encouraging for the service. And India... Well, that's just Black Ops, though. Let's be real here. You're going to always have those diehard COD fans. I liked Black Ops 1 and 2, and then I stopped. And Indiana Jones, despite its disappointing performance, had seemingly impressed Disney enough to warrant a sequel. Did it ever occur to Disney that the reason why Indiana Jones at least was being played, probably more so than, I'm just speculating, more so than Star Wars Outlaws, is because it was on Game Pass? And people said, well, I'm paying, what is it now? Like, I mean, there's so many damn different tiers of Game Pass. I'm paying $20 now for the ultimate, dick sucking package where I get everything and blah, 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 blah. And I'll rather take that than dropping like $70 on a copy of Indiana Jones. Like, did they ever stop to think that, yeah, that's good because people are playing it more, but it also showcases that people aren't willing to pay full price for that sort of game? Again, I've heard mixed things about Indiana Jones. I personally wouldn't mind playing it, but from what I've heard, it's like one giant movie. And some people are saying like the parts where you actually game are like the most boring parts. I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see how the subscription shapes up in the future. What do you think about the potential hit to sales for titles released on the service? Let us know in the comments. Or, yeah, that's just their spiel of following tech for gamers. But yeah, kind of like a catch-22. Oh my gosh, these game sales are taking a hit because they can just go on Game Passes. Oh, but the physical sales aren't doing so hot because people want digital. Oh, but people like want to actually own their games, so they don't want to do digital, I'll tell you who's hurting money-wise. The Halo Infinite's new company. Oh, Halo, you have gone so far downhill. So the new company says it's in trouble. Xbox veteran Niti Studios is halting development on its game due to funding issues. That's not good. Jar Sparks, the studio founded in 2022 by Xbox veteran Jerry Hook, NetEase, partnership with NetEase. Oh boy, scratchy throat. Here we go. Get my bag of cough drops. Says it's halting development on its debut game in the hope of securing new funding. The Seattle-based company was working on a new generation of narrative-driven action games. Oh, I read that wrong. I thought it was that new studio that was headed up by, like, what is it, 343? And now they named it something else because 343 that name has been tarnished. So kind of read that wrong. So I was rather more cold than normal. But Halo Infinite wasn't exactly good either. Anyway, so according to its original announcement, however, an updated post on LinkedIn this week, it said now it's allowing staff to find new work as it seeks a new publishing partner. Earlier today, we notified our team that Jar Sparks will be halting work on our current title as we search for a new publishing partner who can help bring our creative vision to life, the update reads. Throughout this journey, our passionate, driven, and innovative team took bold risks and pushed boundaries, striving to create something truly new and exciting for the industry. We couldn't be prouder of the groundwork we've laid together. Post continues, as we prepare for this next step, our talented team members will be exploring new opportunities. If you're searching for exceptional professionals who are driven and think outside the box, reach out. We'd be more than happy to connect you with some of the best developers I've had the pleasure of working with. From the day we formed Jar Sparks to this very moment, this team has accomplished remarkable feats, proving that a small, focused, and dedicated group can achieve great results. We thank each of them for courage, skill, and friendship. Thank you to everyone who supported us through our journey here at Jar Sparks. Look forward to updating you all with our next step. So they didn't release anything? I mean, that kind of sucks, but it's funny when you see this post here where we're super hyping up all these developers. Like, man, they thought outside the box. Thank them for their courage, their skill, their friendship, and we saw none of that. Like, we saw no like final product of this hype, you know? So it's like, yeah, it sucks that you kind of need more funding and stuff. But again, I'm kind of indifferent about the whole thing. So Jar of Sparks CEO and studio head Hook is a Microsoft veteran who helped launch the original Xbox and was a founding member of Xbox Live. Well, that's cool. Question is he based? He has held executive roles across multiple disciplines for the Halo and Destiny franchise, and most recently serving as head of design for Halo Infinite. He was joined by creative director Paul Crocker, who was the lead narrative director at Rocksteady's Batman Arkham Trilogy, executive producer Greg Stone, who was producer on Doom and Halo Infinite, and gameplay director Steve Dyke, or Dick, who previously, oh man. You know that guy got bullied as a kid. I hate to say it with a last name like that. Ugh. Previously worked as an animated director and design director for titles in the Halo, SSX, and NBA Street franchises. All right, well, there you go. So kind of misread that because I thought it was like 343. What did they change their studio name to? I forget. Oh yeah, they changed. It's now Halo Studios. See, that's where I misread it a little bit. I thought it was going to be talking about how that studio was already collapsing, which, man, I would have gotten a lot more of a kick out of it. But yeah. Well, there you go. Again, kind of indifferent about it. I mean, tip of the hat to, Hook. Like, did it actually say, like, what's the guy's name? It just says Xbox veteran. Okay, I think the post just came from Jar Sparks. Jar Sparks CEO and studio head Hook is a Microsoft. That's just as like Hook what? Oh my gosh. Jar of Sparks. Is that based on a box of scraps? Jerry Hook. Okay, that's his name. How did this article not call him by his full name? Jerry. Yeah, like Jerry is nowhere mentioned in this. So Jerry Hook helped launch the original Xbox and a founding member of Xbox Live. Got to give credit to where credit's due, Have all these people changed nowadays on how bastardizing the industry has gone? I don't know. All right. Hopping on over to Niche Gamer here. We've got Sonic the Hedgehog film franchise tops $1 billion in sale. Yeah, Sonic 3 has just been killing it. I am very out of touch when it comes to like keeping up with new movies. So I haven't seen any of the Sonic films. But yeah, Sonic 3 is just killing it. And especially with Disney's being a bunch of buckfutters about like trying to hype up like how Mufasa's like the #1 movie and killing it, and it's clearly Sonic, and hiding like people's comments like Krista Nova. Like hilarious. Hilarious and gay as hell. That is for sure. All I can say is hey Disney.
Go yourself.
So Sega and excuse me. So Sega and Paramount Pictures have announced the live-action Sonic the Hedgehog film franchise has topped $1 billion in cumulative sales. The new milestone comes not long after the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie, which just premiered on December 20th, 2024, exclusively in theaters. The original live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie premiered back in February of 2020, and then the second one premiered April 2022, and then a live-action spin-off miniseries focused on Knuckles, the Echidna. Oh my gosh. I should know how to pronounce this, but me being the high-functioning autistic that I am, fails. I know what it is.
Echidna.
Echidna? Man, and here I am trying to say it like church. Echidna. Is that really how you pronounce it?
Looking at how to pronounce this word as well as announced words as well.
Can you guys
So
hear
make
that?
sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing for
Oh my god, I don't care.
British and American pronunciations are rather similar here. Pretty straightforward once you know. Echidna. Echidna.
Echidna. Dude, I looked up this how to pronounce echidna correctly from this like YouTube video, and I think you guys heard that. It took 35 seconds for this guy to straight up just pronounce it. Because he has to explain about like, here's the introduction and British and American pronunciation, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my gosh, just say the damn word. Anyway. So in the related news, Sega and Paramount Pictures have confirmed a Sonic the Hedgehog 4 movie. A rather short article, but yeah. It is killing it. And I'm kind of curious, like, what do you guys think? I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm wondering if Sonic is kind of beaten out on Super Mario Brothers. They're just killing it. I don't know the numbers between the two. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that the Sonic the Hedgehog film is kind of beaten Super Mario Brothers? Although, you know, I'm sure Nintendo's going to do a Super Mario Brothers 2, and that's just going to explode just as well. And I just noticed that my camera is like not 100% lined up with my border. Fudge. There we go. Wait, I think the right's not set up now. There we go. We got it. Could be OCD in certain things and not OCD in other ones. Anywho. Yeah. Even though I grew up with the Sega, I've beaten all the Sonic games, but I never grew up with them per se, which is interesting because man, I wish I would have kept the original box. So I thought like my parents got us the bundle with the Sonic the Hedgehog game, but I don't ever remember owning it. I still have that original Sega Genesis. That sucker's still going strong. But yeah, I grew up with Nintendo, so you know I had like kind of like the best of both worlds. What's up, Komanga? What's up, Ted Cruz? Super Mario was way better. Yeah, I mean, that could be true. All right. Well, speaking of I was gonna say a movie, but it doesn't tie in. Man, that was a terrible segue. Never mind. Ghost of Tsushima anime series announced. There you go. Going back to Niche Gamer here. So PlayStation Productions, Sony Music, Aniplex, and Gay-Ass Crunchyroll have announced a Ghost of Tsushima anime series based on the popular game by Sucker Punch Productions. So the new Ghost of Tsushima anime series, which is being produced by Aniplex, will premiere sometime in 2027 exclusively via Crunchyroll. Fans can expect the new series to be produced by Aniplex, as mentioned, with director Takanobu Mizuno, story composition Gen Urabuchi, Nitro Plus, and animation by Kamikaze Douga. Sonic Music will handle its music, soundtrack, and partnering, and the companies hope to bring Ghost of Tsushima Legends' traditional samurai aesthetic to life with cinematic storytelling and striking visuals. Komanga says the Sega Genesis was your first console. Nice. Nintendo was mine. Professional segue, Greg. It was the cleanest segue one has ever heard. So here's the comment from key staff on the new anime. Raui Perini, president of Crunchyroll. This project is a testament to the creative synergy with the Sony family, uniting the expertise of PlayStation Studios, PlayStation Productions, creative team of Sucker Punch Productions, Aniplex, Sony Music's iconic global artist roster, Crunchyroll's fan-first global marketing and distribution footprint. Ghost of Tsushima anime will offer fans an exciting new way to experience the game in an anime style that will be bold and groundbreaking. Here's the ultimate question, though, because we all got the Ghost. Well, it is called the Ghost of Tsushima. I will not be surprised if they're calling it Ghost of Tsushima, but yet they try to pull the Ghost of Yote. You know, that everyone's like, what the fuck happened to Jin? What happened to Jin? Where did he go? Now you want to tell this shit with this, you know, more woman power. Like, I will not be surprised if they pull what was it, the Scott Pilgrim animated series that had little to no Scott Pilgrim in it whatsoever. I don't want to make a call, but I feel like that could almost be the case too. Or they're calling it Legends. So is there like more than one, you know, character? And my apologies if you hear crunching. My cough drop. So we're excited to create new opportunities for our artists to engage with such incredible global IP. Music plays such a key role in the overall audience viewing experience, and we are thrilled to be working alongside our Sony partners to develop compelling content for fans around the world. Wait, what the heck? Mouthwashing developers defend. Oh. Some reason that looked like an 80s or like early 90s commercial to me. All right. So, Ghost of Tsushima anime series announced. Helldivers movie adaptation announced too. Also coming from Niche Gamer. So, Apparently, the same companies, PlayStation Production and Sony Pictures, have announced a new Helldivers feature film at this year's Consumer Electronics Trade Show. While details on the new Helldivers movie are scant, both companies noted at CES 2025 that the new adaptation is already in production. And then the latest game in the franchise, Helldivers 2, has been available, on Steam and PS5 and all that stuff. I kind of gave up on Helldivers 2 because they did that one thing. Didn't they, were against DEI, and then there was some, DEI, in there, and then they nerfed a bunch of stuff, and then they got all butthurt about it. But now they're back, I just gave up. I just said, nah, I'm not playing anymore. Goodbye. That was a very short article, but there you go. If you guys are a fan of Helldivers, there's a movie coming. So keep an eye out for that. Alrighty. So, it's been buzzing about. We're here. We're jumping back to Video Game Chronicle. Apparently, a Nintendo Switch 2 replica is being showcased behind closed doors at the convention that we just mentioned, CES. Well, I'm assuming it has already been showcased. No longer being showcased. It has been. So Accessories firm shows what it claims to be an accurate replica of Switch 2 and its Joy-Cons. And there you go. Okay. So it looks a little bit bigger. Let me get my Switch. Speaking of Switch, I got Mario and Luigi Brothers ship for Christmas. All right, so if this is like the replica, let's bust out what we're having here. All right, so here's, in comparison, here's mine. Here's what we got. I don't know if you guys can, whoops, wrong way. See it right there. Let's see. So compared to what we're seeing right here, yeah, definitely the Joy-Cons are different. There's apparently now 2 buttons in the lower right with other than that, I mean, I guess it's probably going to be bigger. So this took place in Las Vegas. Genki is showcasing the device behind closed doors at the Las Vegas Convention Center this week, where invited guests can hold the replica in their hands and get a feel of what it claims Switch 2 will be like to hold. The replica modeled, pictured on this page, is being used to demonstrate the accessories Genki has planned for the Nintendo Switch successor, including controllers and a docking station, it said. I'll tell you what. I hate allergies and the flu season and all that crap. I hate being sick in general. I'm sure everyone hates being sick. German publication Netzwelt was able to try the Switch 2 replica, which Genki claims has the exact dimensions of Nintendo's unannounced console. So according to the publication, the Switch 2 feels significantly larger to hold. You know, that's good, because there were at times that even though, obviously it's bigger than, a Game Boy Advance and all that stuff, there were times where I know with me, kind of playing the when using it as a handheld, my hands did get tight and stiff from all the massive jacking, from, not moving around a lot and stuff. You know, when your hand stays in a position, it like, freezes in that position. I can't think of the word of what it would be. Like numb. Anyway. So according to the publication, it's larger to hold. With the Joy-Cons that are moved from the side rather than pushed in upward, reportedly, this is due to plan for magnetic attachment. Hasn't that been confirmed? I remember reading an article about the magnetic attachment. I'm pretty sure that's been, like, confirmed, but don't quote me. In addition, don't quote me ever. I refuse to allow you to do it. I'm just kidding. In addition, it says the right Joy-Con controller showcased by Genki features an additional unlabeled button compared to its predecessor. Hey, I called out that unknown button. Look at me. There you go, right there. Look at them charging on that portable dock. It's charging wirelessly, but yet it needs a cord to make sure that the docking station itself doesn't lose power. Oh, padding the article, I see Video Game Chronicle by showcasing the same picture twice. So, Nintendo has yet to officially reveal its Switch successor, but the company has confirmed plans to do so during its current fiscal year, which we read earlier, March 2025. However, that hasn't stopped a flood of alleged leaks appearing on the internet over the past week and months. Several case manufacturers who are provided details of forthcoming tech before it's announced in order to prepare production, have recently published what they claim to be cases for Nintendo's next console, thus revealing some detail about the shape of the system. The most significant alleged leak started with images claiming to show Nintendo Switch's successor in September, showing a design that's not too dissimilar from the company's current gen console. Then last week, alleged images of the Switch 2's internal hardware components appeared on Reddit. And if accurate, the images appear to confirm previous hardware spec rumors suggesting that the new console will again be powered by an NVIDIA hardware. Feel the power. Isn't like NVIDIA like kind of not doing so hot? I thought I read about that too. Why didn't they go with AMD? I don't know. I've used both and whatever. Supposed images of Switch 2's Joy-Cons have also made their way online. If authentic, they corroborated previous claims. The corroborated previous claims that the Switch 2 Joy-Cons will be slightly larger, feature a magnetic connection. It's also speculated they could feature mouse-like support. Ooh, fancy. Then on Tuesday, an image of what is reportedly the Nintendo Switch 2 dock was published. According to the image, the Switch 2 will ship with a larger 60-watt charger, meaning the charger for the original Nintendo Switch will not be powerful enough to use with the system while docked. Bullshit, not buying it. What the fuck, Nintendo? I want to see a picture of this. Oh. Well, there you go. There you go. This is supposedly what it looks like. Look at it. Laura Kate Dale. Uh-oh. They're quoting from Blue Sky Social, so I take this with a grain of salt. Yeah, look at that 60-watt fucking charger dock. Oh, yeah. I think that's pretty much it, though. But there you go. If you guys are kind of wanting to know what the Switch 2 could very well look like, and the Joy-Con controllers, there you guys go. Look at that. Wait a minute. Okay, so clearly this, you see Genki right here. Is this his picture? I find it funny that they're hiding like people's faces, and then there's like a face right here. And NVIDIA is doing better than ever. Intel may not be doing it. Oh, it was Intel. That's right. Yeah. That's okay. That's what I remember reading about. It was Intel. Intel is not doing so hot. Oh, very good. Very good. I mean, I will probably. I still want to get a PS5, even though it's not the best out there. But I've got so many physical PS4 games. I'd rather have the backwards compatibility. And then, kind of wrapping up the stream here and looking at like what games were released today. I always like seeing like what games were released today or around this time on U.S. scale to a global scale. I got this other article here too. I've had Drunk 3PO on the show before. This comes from Fandom Pulse. J. David, aka Drunk 3PO, crushes nearly $100,000 on the Achromatic Chronicles. Green reaches its final campaign day. Way to go, Jay. Dang, that's insane. So in 2023, J. David, better known by his new YouTube moniker, Drunk 3PO, started his graphic novels, the Achromatic Chronicles. The book is now about to close its campaign on Eric July's Ripicen and is approaching $100,000 in book sales on its final day. Nice. The book is a concept geared more at an all age of younger audiences, something desperately needed to be injected into the comic industry. The original book was a 220-page graphic novel that garnered 896 backers during its original campaign run on Indiegogo, and it ended with 1,436 backers and 107,300 raised for the YouTube's personality's first project. Dude, nice. Now on Ripicen, J. David is approaching similar numbers for the sequel, though there are some differences with the campaigns, showing that the sequel is indeed more successful than the predecessor. Intel 13 and 14 gen processor are busted. I think I got an i9, and it's my cooling wasn't cooling it enough, so it kept blue screening, but we've fixed all that resolve. But yeah, I think next time if I ever get another PC, I'm going to switch to something else. Oh my goodness, my apologies, guys. So the Indiegogo campaign's total list funds after a campaign ended what's called in demand, where the book remains open for a time after the campaign, in this case several months longer than the total campaign went. The Ripicen sequel campaign is going. By achieving similar dollar numbers, J. David has actually sold more copies of the new iteration of the campaign than the old in a shorter amount of time. Eric July posted another interesting factor on the dollar amount, which as of this writing is over $92,000. The dollar amount doesn't include tax and shipping costs like the Indiegogo campaign does. The dollars are the total for the entire book. So with Indiegogo showing a rate... Oh, Jay. Fandom, could you not have found a better picture? It's not by all means worse. I've had worse pictures compared to this. Jay just not even looking at the camera. Wait a minute. So this is clear. I'm fascinated by this picture because if he's holding the camera out this way, clearly you would want to be looking in the like directly into the camera. But they're like looking like to the side. So is it like turned or something? I'm now like fascinated by this picture. It's like in the middle of a selfie. Maybe he accidentally, like the picture got taken right when they were like looking at the camera. And I'm just busting Jay's chops. So while Indiegogo showing a rate of at least $10 per backer, the amount of the books is actually the same as Achromatic Chronicles 2 with a full day to go, and the last day of the campaign is typically one of the highest for the sales. This means that J. Davis's series is a success, as keeping a series going at the same or higher rate for a book 2 is nearly unheard of in the comic industry. Most books, book 2s garner 40 to 60% of the sales of the first one. Yeah, that's awesome. Good job, Jay. Then, moreover, Eric July's Ripascend is a proven success. A new crowdfunding platform competing with Indiegogo and Kickstarter translated to the same or more backers coming over, which means Jay David did not lose at all from transferring platforms to an independent alternatively, even though I heard some, the haters out there will always find something to bitch about because they just hate Eric July. It's an incredible win for indie comic creators as a result, with many wanting to try alternative platforms like Ripascend or Fund My Comic to get away from the censorship of the mainstream crowdfunders. I haven't heard of Fund My Comic. So anticipation built over several months as fans awaited the beginning of Ripascend as well as the sequel. The site describes the campaign for the Achromatic Chronicles. And then you've got the list right here. Welcome to the Achromatic Chronicles 75-day pre-order campaign. We're excited to offer fans an exclusive chance to dive into the vibrant, imaginative world of our beloved Achromatic Chronicles series, penned by the talented Jay David and brought to life by the gifted illustrator Eric Hodson. These graphic novels promise to inspire, captivate, and entertain readers of all ages. Our campaign is packed with unique items and limited editions you won't want to miss. So let's explore what's in store. Hey, that rhymed. It's a captivating series following young John from the Gray World, a place bereft of color and steeped in monotony. Or monotony? John's curious nature. Did I say monotony? I think that's supposed to be monotony. Oh my gosh. Rip me. Look, I did very terrible at the reading portions as a child. Which is funny because my mom was a reading teacher. So you think I would be quite, I would excel quite well in that. Or did I do well in it? I blame the ADHD. Anyway, wait a minute. Hold on real quick. Let me check something. Just making sure my connection is okay. Okay, now I noticed Rumble Studios was kind of glitching a little bit on my end. What's up, Scotty? It's been a while. Yes, it has, man. Has indeed. Once again, sorry. I've already complained about Rumble Studios, which I think they have a good thing going in terms of it not being StreamYards and being able to multi-stream without having to pay for a pro subscription, but still. Again. So John's curious nature and yearning to be different set him apart in a society where conformity reigns supreme. One fateful day, John meets Blue, a new friend who unveils a world brimming with colors, adventure, and limitless possibilities. Thus begins John's extraordinary journey, an odyssey teeming with pirates and queens as he strives to find his unique voice amidst a newly vibrant world. Happy New Year, dude. Well, thank you. Happy New Year to you, too. And then in Achromatic Chronicles Blue, we witness John's transformation as he steps out of his grayscale existence and into the colorful adventures that await him. With Achromatic Chronicles Green, the story expands to include John's friend, Fortuna, and her quest to bring hope and individuality back to the Gray World with the help of her new friend, Green. Each book brings fresh stories, vibrant colors, and invaluable lessons about self-discovery, courage, and the importance of embracing one's uniqueness. What do you think of Drunk 3PO crushing it with his new Achromatic Chronicles on Eric July's Ripascend? Leave a comment and let us know. Well, I'm just super happy for Jay. Like I said, I've had him on the show. He's an awesome guy, very humble guy. I got to know him a little bit. Trying to schedule him again to come on. So super happy. And, thankful that he was able to succeed. And I hope he continues to succeed even beyond this. And, really humble dude. Really nice guy. A good brother in Christ, for sure. So, on that uplifting note, we'll go ahead and we'll wind down the stream here and we'll take a gander. For all you guys out there, remember, there are good games and we can have good games in the past. We just gotta, from the past, we can have games now. And we can look to the past to know how to bring about awesome games. Like, for example, hopping over to Game Facts, This Day in Gaming. So, January 7th, Pizza Pop. Haven't heard of that one, but I like the name because I like pizza. Initial D, running in the 90s. We've got the next Tetris, Rez. Got your Crash Bandicoot 2, Entranced. For the Game Boy Advance, got Airborne Troops Countdown to D-Day, Spelunker Black, Kentucky Route Zero, Infinite Stars, Big Dipper, Solvars, Blowout. Holy crap. Maybe not the most solid of days, because they're listing like a bunch of games that were released today. Yeah, don't really. Wait, Incest Story Sister. What the fuck? Oh my goodness gracious. Hello, we still have a relationship to discuss. Gotta get that one. It's for Macintosh and PC, folks. Poppin' Tween Bee Rainbow Bell Adventure. Initial D. What's Initial D? Is that like a racing game? Oh, yeah. I should have figured, because the show was about racing. Rez. Legendary action shooter. There's a game trailer. Apparently they're playing it on a PS3. What? This is not a game trailer. This is just someone's PS3 thing. Xbox Live Arcade, a fast-moving... Oh, it's a wireframe adventure. Whoops. I think I might have accidentally backed out of my, entire fast-moving... Oh, it's a wireframe adventure. I want to see if I accidentally backed out of, my entire studio here. Oh, no, I guess I didn't. Okay, interesting. I accidentally, backed out of, everything instead of just, backing out of, the tab I have open. Did you hear about George Romero's Resident Evil documentary releasing today? No. Very cool. That's interesting. But let's go ahead and hop over to This Day in Gaming. This comes from Moby Games, and this is more of a world, kind of all around the world sort of thing. So maybe we'll see some games that kind of stand out for us that, we didn't see on Game Facts. I mean, they mentioned the next Tetris, so if you like Tetris, that's pretty cool. Swords and Sandals 2. Apparently it was on Newgrounds. Ah, man, I miss Newgrounds. I know it's still, there, but those days, back in the days, man. I remember playing the crap out of, Stick Figures, Alien Hominid. I really loved the Stick Figure series. Those movies and some games were awesome. Joe Zombie. What else? Pico. Finding a place to watch it is really difficult, though. Oh, I'm sure you can probably find something. But here you guys go. 2008, 17 years ago. Company completes the acquisition of VG Holding Corps and adds development studios BioWare Corporation Pandemic Studio to its EA game labels. Got Electronic Arts, Astroware Limited, Pandemic Studios LLC, and then BioWare Edmond and Monton. Newgrounds is still around, but it's a very different time now. Yeah, it's certainly has changed. I'm telling you, dude, like your 80s, your 90s, your early 2000s. Best times. Good times. Good times. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Ninja Tribunal was released for the J2Me version worldwide. Never heard of that before. That's pretty cool. Oh, here you go. Bayonetta, the Climax Edition. I actually recently played Bayonetta. I need to get Bayonetta 2 and play that because I like me a good hack and slash. That was released in Australia. Very nice. My Pets, Nintendo 3DS. Not a whole lot of games, at least games that I'm familiar with, that came out today. That doesn't mean that there aren't any good games like inside of these lists. Street Cleaner, the video game. Sounds interesting. We're already at 2021. I noticed there's a big drop off between, like getting up to your 2017 and onwards. So that's when DEI really took hold of everything. Well, not the most solid list today, but that doesn't mean that there weren't any solid lists like yesterday. I guess we could look at yesterday since I didn't do a show yesterday. Let's do that. Let's do that before we sign off here. Previous day. Or we technically could do no Casino Kid. I actually, when I did an angry review series called Powder Keg, Greg, one of the games I bashed was a Casino Kid. That's awesome. Oh no. Got your Digimon World. Night Sky. Can't believe Casino Kid pointed at that, like, stuck out to me. Ventures of Lolo 2. Got a Dreamcast game. Sakura Tyson. Anagumi Tyson Columns 2. Summon Night. I guess since we're not doing a show tomorrow, we could look at what came out. So tomorrow, Super Contra. There you go. There's a solid one. Operation C. Oh gosh, Alien versus Predator. Seven Samurai 2000 XX. I'll have to look into that because I do like me a good samurai game. Oh, if you like Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, I like that show. Apparently the game's out there. Got your Dance Dance Revolution, Sonic Riders, Blaze of Glory. Excuse me. Oh, here you go. Adult Strip Poker for the iPhone and iPad. So that way you can at least not get super caught on if you are playing it. I mean, I'm not surprised there isn't really a lot of solid games because a lot of them obviously get released specific months and stuff. Here, we'll go ahead and take a look at Moby Games here as well. Operation C, Alien vs. Predator, Total Eclipse, the 3DO. No one can stop Mr. Domino, the PlayStation version from Japan. Marbles Deluxe. It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. Oh gosh, you got your Call of Duty Ghost game and season pass. PlayStation. Ghost was on PlayStation 3? Man. I heard Ghost just down the drain. Was not good. Alrighty. Well, there you go. That's pretty much all I have for you guys today. So thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me as I return to the show. Hope you all enjoyed it. Again, we were on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Kick. Rumble Studio kind of holding up today. Nice to see it, but it always seems to drop every time I try to game. So I have to go down the other way in terms of streaming that way. Scotty says, I arrived late, but glad to have boosted the stream. Okay, take care, dude. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And yeah, thanks to everyone who hung out. Like I said, we were all on the listed, the aforementioned social media platforms. Feel free to give a like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the articles we read today. Love to hear your guys' thoughts about it. And shout out to X, because we have a lot of viewers over there. So I'm glad you guys all tuned in. Hope you enjoyed the ramblings of a madman. But yes, tomorrow we will be continuing gaming. I'm going to try to finish up Tomb Raider 3. Holy crap, that game is hard. And it gets me really salty, but we are like at the end there. And then once we're done, we can move on to the next game. Like I said, I've picked up Mario and Luigi Brothership, so maybe we'll start that. Or, just kind of in the mood. On my locals, I have my backlog list, so you can always check out over there. I don't have like a voting thing, but if you guys ever wanted me to see me play a game, and a lot of those games would be for the first time I've ever played them too. So you guys get to see my first impressions and my pain and suffering if it's a hard game. But always love it. So like I said, 8 p.m. Central Time is when the stream will take place. That's usually what I try to do. And I'm probably going to mix up the schedule here. We've got Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm thinking of gaming, and now Tuesdays and Thursdays being dedicated to the Power Up podcast. And then I'm trying to crank out more YouTube shorts, just try to get the content going. So trying to start off the new year strong. But I'm humbled and blessed that you guys took the time to hang out with me today. Hope you guys stay warm wherever you're at, because a lot of winter is coming, even though it's already in January. But what can you do? Even in Texas, it's like crazy. It's like low numbers, and we're actually, in terms of like, degrees, and we're actually supposed to get snow on Thursday. Insane. I grew up in Illinois, so I mean, I'm used to this, but you never grew up in it. Like, people are insane about it. So thanks again. Have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Until then, adios. Peace.